This device looks like my dream phone. I hope it makes it to production. Recently, I've seen a lot of buzz about this device, the Minimal Phone. What is it? Well, according to their website, the Minimal Phone promotes a scroll less, live more lifestyle. It's targeted towards people like me, people who are addicted to smartphones and social media and doom scrolling. It's an e-ink device with a QWERTY keyboard. This would be my dream phone. Hopefully, it makes it to production. Now, in order to deep dive into the Minimal Phone, I went to their website to find the facts that they have posted to the public. What I could find is that the device will have a 3.5-inch e-ink display. Now, this size is comparable to the BlackBerry Classic Q20. For me, it's a bit on the small side, but since I like smaller devices like the BlackBerry Q10 and Q20, I think this would be an ideal size. It's promoting the size as the perfect size for productivity. That is to be seen. Is this device being promoted as a productivity device or as a digital minimalism device? I still have yet to decide which is the target audience. On the website, it also mentions a 300 ppi. This is quite standard for e-readers. For example, my Onyx Books Palma has the same ppi, and I think as well Amazon Kindle. The refresh rate is 90 milliseconds. I'm not sure about this measurement. I couldn't find other e-readers with the precise refresh rate. For example, my Books Palma has different settings for the refresh rate. So if you're watching dynamic content, you can adjust your refresh rate according to the content that you're consuming. So I don't know if this device will have an adjustable option for specific content, or is this the standard high refresh? Because when you're watching dynamic content, it's important to have high refresh, but if you're consuming less dynamic content, for example, ebooks or PDFs, you might not need that high refresh, and therefore you would not need to consume the battery as much. Speaking of battery, it says the device will have a 4,000 milliamp battery, which can last up to 4 days. This is a huge battery, and considering it's an e-ink device, getting up to 4 days would be great. I'm wondering why it's only up to 4 days. With the size of the battery and being an e-ink device, what will be taking more from the battery? Will it be the operating system? Will it be the connectivity? Or will it depend on the usage? If somebody's using Bluetooth, for example, or is there a hotspot feature? I just have a lot of questions about the battery life and the perspective duration of that battery life. The QWERTY keyboard is a 70 millimeter keyboard. Again, this is quite similar to the BlackBerry Classic, which is 72 millimeters. There is some travel between the keys proposed for this device, which is quite useful if you're typing and want to type fast. I don't know the clickability of the keys, how far they click, or anything like this. There have been no prototypes to demonstrate this, so I'm not sure if the key travel is comfortable or not. I mean, it is wait to be seen. Once it's released, we'll be able to really analyze it further. But it looks interesting, and I'm curious to see how it would feel in the hands. It's also promoting its own Android operating system, Minimal OS. So it says on the website that you'll have full access to the Google Play Store. I'm not sure if this is confirmed or not. I saw that the CEO is in talks with Google to have the Play Store released with the device, so you'll have access to all of the applications, kind of similar to other e-ink Android devices. But this is to be seen how the operating system will handle the apps that are offered by the App Store, because if this is a whole new operating system or a lighter operating system to consume less battery, will it be able to handle all apps from the Play Store, and will it show appropriately on an e-ink device? I know with using my Books Palma, it does have access to the Google Play Store, but again, apps aren't developed for e-ink devices. How will these apps perform on the smaller screen factor of a 3.5-inch display compared to the standard flagship smartphones? So besides the device specifications, I wanted to delve a bit deeper into their marketing materials because I found them quite interesting. So on the main website itself, it has a section of a user who looks to be addicted to their phone with 6.5 hours of screen time, 150 unlocks per day, and 147 minutes of social media use. Now, if this is a heavy user, this is nothing compared to me. At my worst, I was about 9 hours on my device a day and 200 unlocks, as well as over 5 hours of social media use because I was doom scrolling. So I don't know if this device is really targeted towards those hardcore addicts like myself, or somebody who just wants to reduce the time that they're using their device in a more realistic manner. I know I'm a bit on the other side of the spectrum, but I was curious to see what their marketing materials were saying to the average user. From what I can see from the promotional videos and all of the content, I mean, the device is not real in hands yet, but from the promotional video, the device looks quite thick, can be quite heavy, considering they're putting a 4,000 milliamp battery, so that will definitely affect the weight and the thickness of the device. And it's to be seen what the actual bezels will look like, what the design of the buttons, the scheme, everything that needs to go into this device. I've seen recently that they've taken on a new CTO, Simon Brooks, who has also worked with BlackBerry and Nokia and Samsung, just to name a few. And this is a good add to the leadership team. But as the company says itself, they want to be transparent in the development process. And I'd like to see what the teams look like behind the scenes, besides the leadership. Who are the people actually working on this device? And how is it working behind the scenes? For example, I know for QWERTY keyboard designs, this takes a long time and a lot to get right. Even BlackBerry themselves admitted to this. Now, this is a new concept and a new design. I think it's coming from the right place of digital minimalism, but I'm a bit confused who it's marketed towards. Now, as an addict to social media and my smartphone, I find having a device that gives me access to all apps in the Google Play Store may not be for me. I am somebody who, if I have the access to certain applications, I will put it on my device. I'm getting better with it. I'm improving my willpower. And I noticed with my books Palma, I'm no longer using social media, except for Reddit and YouTube, of course. But I don't use it for standard social media like Facebook or scrolling through short form content. So that's great. And I think that this device could potentially help people who have that issue like me. But as far as being more minimalistic, but still productive at the same time, I think it's kind of two different theories going at each other. Because I know from BlackBerry, I used to use it as a productivity device. I mean, it was an all-in-one hub to get all of your notifications, your emails, your communication all in one place, and to streamline that to save time and essentially be more productive. But what if your goal is not to be more productive? What if your goal is just not to be addicted to your device? I don't know if that's right for me to use this device, because I know if I have access to a keyboard, I'm going to email, I'm going to create documents, I'm going to be more on my device because it will be easier on my eyes with the e-ink display. I know I won't be using the social media as much, but I'm not sure it'll reduce my screen time essentially, and it'll make me more productive, which honestly is not my goal. My goal is not to be addicted to a smartphone and to live my life and not scroll, kind of like the motto says. So overall, I mean, could be an interesting device from the marketing perspective, but we'll see. How much is this device going to cost and when will it be released? Well, this is an Indiegogo crowdfunded device. If you go on the Indiegogo page, it already has over 1,200 backers and over 630,000 euros invested. So this is a lot of money, and hopefully this money will help them push to the next level of production and be able to release device in a timely manner. It says on their Indiegogo page that it should release in August or September of 2024. I have big doubts about this because the research and development alone could take years. This depends if they can develop the phone to work well and seamlessly with the software and the hardware together. And depending or not if you have access to the Play Store, or if certain things, for example, the refresh rate with an e-ink device. I mean, there's so many factors that go into developing a phone. I just have doubts to go from the design phase through the research and development phase plus the production phase by August or September this year. I think it's a bit ambitious, and it's great that they want to do that. Do I think it's realistic? Probably not. I mean, I've never developed a phone myself. I worked in software, tech, as well as marketing, and I've just never seen products go that fast through the pipeline, especially with hardware involved. I mean, you have to think of the manufacturing process, and everything that could go wrong probably will go wrong, so that date will be pushed and pushed again. I myself have not invested or backed this because I would like to see the product come out in the hands of somebody and be tested in real life. And I'm thinking the first iteration might not be the best. I mean, if I had the device to review myself, I wouldn't say no. And I think it's a device that could help a lot of people, especially the visually impaired and people who do want to reduce using social media. And I really hope that this device will come into fruition and not be vaporware. But so many companies have gone along this route, and so many people have back projects that just couldn't come. There's so many moving parts, and when you're creating a phone, everything has to work well together in order to release that device. I really wish the best for them, and I hope to see this device by the end of the year. But if it doesn't, I'm not going to be angry or upset. I'm not backing the product, so I'm not going to lose any money. But I hope those who are backing will get their device. What do you think about the minimal phone? Would you back this phone? Would you get this phone when it's released? Let me know in the comments below, and thanks for watching. See you soon.